Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard and wowee, huh? Boy, the earliest known Hank Williams concert piece, meaning handbill, flyer, or poster, of his entire career, dating to 1939. Oh my goodness, sure it's a modest piece, but look at its age. For heaven's sake, Hank Williams was only 16 years old, and the previous month he had dropped out of high school in order to devote his energy full-time to his new group, the Drifting Cowboys. Just amazing, simply amazing, wow. And he was partnered here, as you can see, Hank and Hezzy at the top. Yep, he was partnered with drifting cowboy Hezzy, who played bass and harmonica, and maybe did some hijinks as well. And as a matter of fact, I have a picture of the two. I will tell you they're the two figures on the right, and the far right you have Hank Williams, of course, you'd recognize him, of course, and right next to him is Hezzy. So it's nice to have a visual to go along with a simple old handbill that has no graphics. So interestingly, this group, as you can see, just as it says on the flyer, was originally known as Hank and Hezzy and the Drifting Cowboys. But, I have a feeling that any band name that's got two ands in it is sort of like pretty cumbersome and is going to be shortened by the media, the newspaper or something. So the marquee, at the theater, so you might as well do it yourself. But that's just speculation. Whatever reason, Hezzy was dropped from the band's name, not the band, and it just became Hank Williams and the Drifting Cowboys, but Hezzy continued on with the group playing bass guitar. Then below that, as you see, you've got Little Texas Sue. Love those names. And that was Sue Taylor. She was a vocal partner of Hank's. In fact, interestingly, the Drifting Cowboys, Hank and Hezzy and the Drifting Cowboys, were about to embark once Hank was freed from high school. Until then, they could only play Central Alabama. He had to stay close to home base. But once they were freed and could go down to Georgia and Florida, well, actually, that's the point. An influential theater chain with theaters in Georgia and Florida and Alabama said, I like the sound of you guys, I'd like to run you through my whole theater chain, but it'd be really, spice things up if you have a girl singer too. So naturally, they went out and found a girl singer, and that would be this Sue Taylor. So that's why she's part of the group and probably, quite talented for sure in her own right. So now that they were, up until then though, 1 month earlier, as I said, he was in high school still, so this is about as far away as they could really stray from the high school home base, and they took their 1.5 hours of good, clean music and comedy, see that right there on the poster, to Weoka High School in Elmore County, Alabama, and that is the county just north, right above, of Montgomery County, which of course had Montgomery, Alabama, where the Williams lived. And if I come in a little bit closer, you can see some more wording on this early historic handbill that's so much fun. Friday night, November 17th at 8 o'clock. It's funny, usually on later pieces you always saw 8 p.m., but they covered it this time by saying Friday night and then 8 o'clock and didn't get redundant. And then there's the killer. Look at that. I'm sure you've seen the bottom line there. Admission, 15 cents and 25 cents. That is just... oh my goodness, it just makes you go, woo, come on. You realize the Hank Williams postage stamp, which came out in 1993, cost more than one of the highest priced ticket here? Is that a riot? That's right, that stamp was a 29-cent stamp, and here top ticket price is 25 cents. Now, it's my challenge to get you to see one more thing on here, to zoom it in under admission there, and see if you can see some light pencil writing. It would help if I held it still. And you'll see on there, if you can see on there rather, that it says 114 S. Perry. That's 114 South Perry. I'm going to try that one more time. I think that's coming through fine, actually, from my monitor. See that? Scribbled lightly in pencil. Well, guess what? That's where Hank lived. That's where teenage Hank Williams lived with his mother, Lily. And she actually eventually turned that into a boarding house to help obviously supplement the family's income and make ends meet. But boy, this came through the Williams family lineage, and so that's really nice to have that little address just scribbled on there. That's amazing. So here you have Hank and Hezzy and the Drifting Cowboys in 1939. Well, guess what? The original Drifting Cowboys broke up in 1940. The original lineup, the original members scattered. So that means it's only a 39 piece like this or earlier, or I guess early 1940, if you want to have a concert piece with the original Drifting Cowboys on it. That's amazing. It's just and of course he did tour the rest of his career up until December 31st of 52 with a version of the Drifting Cowboys, but the original members, they were right here in this little charismatic Wow, it's only 6 by 9 inches, by the way. It's on, you see more here because it's actually taped into a scrapbook page. In fact, I think this tape might be, it's decades and decades old. It might be as old as the handbill itself. But the item itself measures only 6 by 9 inches. But boy, what a big, giant, powerful piece of country music history this is. Hank and Hezzy, 16-year-old Hank Williams. Just, it says it all for itself, doesn't it? I'll say thanks for coming by, thanks for enjoying, and we'll see you next time for something soon. Okay, bye-bye.